What's up, gamers? Trav here again. In this video, we're going to be talking about gold farms, or zombie villager farms. Okay, I'm going to try to show you the best one I think is that so far I've been able to come up with on PlayStation. That's certainly buildable. There's a lot of example farms out there that people have built on Legacy Console Edition using portals in the overworld that I think could be optimized a little bit better. So that's what we're going to do here. But before we get into that, I'm going to explain some of the mechanics to zombie pigmen, and then go into depth on their aggro a little bit on console and how it kind of differs from Java, and then talk about the farm and why an overworld farm and what are some of the pros and cons, and some of the things that I haven't been able to solve yet. So we're gonna get into a lot of mechanics here, so that way you understand exactly what's happening, and then we'll go into a tutorial on how to build the best gold farm on PlayStation. Okay, so before we begin, first we need to talk about the mechanics. Alright, so let's get down here. And don't forget to like and subscribe for future technical Minecraft content on the PlayStation. Okay, it really helps me out. And definitely bell me, bros. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm going live with more videos like this, covering some of the technical side to the PlayStation. I want to get these guys out of here because we are going to be going to survival. Alright, so first let's talk about aggro mechanics. Alright, so let's say I put down a zombie pigman here. Alright, he's trapped. And I am going to go back. Here's 10 blocks, here's 15. I'm going to go 20 blocks away from him. Alright, and then now we're going to go to survival mode. I'm going to launch this. Oh, I better eat something. I'm going to launch this. I hit him. Let's go up there and see if he's aggroed. Nope, doesn't care about me. Okay, so let's try it again from 15 blocks. First, 16 blocks. I hit him. Let's go up here. And he's not aggroed. So it's different than Java where it's, what, 35 blocks? Something like that. So let's step to 15 blocks. Hit him. Now look at him. Now he's pissed. So 15 blocks, we can aggro zombie pigmen with snowballs. Alright, now here's the question. Let's go back to creative for a minute. Let's clear him out. So now let's talk about the their calling effect, right? Because when they're aggroed, they're going to call for help. So we're going to put one here, and now I want to move one closer to me, and then one further from me compared to the one at 15 blocks. And then we're going to test this out. So I have the one I'm going to hit, one closer, and one further. I'm going to aggro him. See that? So the one closest aggroed because he saw me commit the crime. However, the one further doesn't give a shit, and he's not calling him for help. Okay? So this mechanic isn't reliable on PlayStation. If I were to keep him aggroed like that, and just hold him there, as new ones spawn in, they're not going to aggro. So if I spawn a new one in, even though that one's still pissed off at me, this guy's not going to come running. So we can't exactly take advantage of that mechanic. Alright, so let's look at some of the other things. Let's put down some turtle eggs. Doesn't care. Okay, so that mechanic doesn't work. Let's spawn in another one and just make sure that nothing's broken. Doesn't care. That mechanic doesn't work. Alright, so let's take a look at another aggro mechanic for zombie pigmen. We're using snowmen. Alright, so the first one we're going to put a zombie pigman at 11 blocks away. And then we're going to have the snowman get line of sight. See, he aggros, but he's not throwing snowballs. Okay, let's get rid of this guy. Now let's put one at 10 blocks away. He sees him, and he engages. Okay, so we can reliably use snowmen at 10 blocks. Alright, very good. Let's see what else we can do. Alright, so here's another mechanic. We all know that llamas don't like wolves. Okay? So why don't we incorporate that with zombie pigmen? By putting one in between, keeping a line of sight between the two like this. When he aims correctly, he can engage the zombie pigman, right? He's collateral damage. So let's do it this way. Let's get rid of him. Let's see what happens here. So, here's 15 blocks away from the llama, right? Because the llama is the one that's going to be engaged. Or that's going to aggro. And here's 20 blocks away. Let's put this guy back in the middle. Now watch the two zombie pigmen out there when this one's aggroed. Ah, we pissed off the closest one, but not this one. So llama will aggro from 15 blocks away. So far, the llama is aggroing from the furthest distance, since the snowman will only do 10. So, using your head a little bit, it beckons the question, well, is this the best mechanic then to use when it comes to our gold farms? Because what that means is we have a much bigger footprint on which to build portals, right? Up to 15 blocks away from the center. Well, here's the issue. If we come up here and take a look, we kind of run into the same issue we had when we were aggroing them. And that is, as new pigmen were spawned, they weren't gaining aggro. Okay. So here comes a new one. They're still not aggroed. So let's put down some bait pigmen. Let's put one here. And let's put one over here. And let's put one here. Okay, so they can stay aggro, but they're trapped. So we start running into issues with this, where things need to be reset all the time. So let's get rid of that guy, put a new one in. Oh, there we go. So now let's watch. So these guys are going to stay aggro while the rest of them die. Let's look for new ones to spawn in. Oh, here comes a new one. But they're not calling for help, right? They're not gaining aggro. So this mechanic isn't exactly working for us on console like it would on Java. Because as these new ones would spawn in, these guys are all going to be calling for help, right? Well, that's not exactly what's happening here. And it's not as easy as just reopening the door either, right? Because we have to reset the aggro on this guy in order to get new spawns to aggro. So one way you could use this is by, once they're in position, by waiting long enough for the mob cap to fill before opening the trapdoor. That's one method of doing it, but I don't think that's the fastest way that we're going to be able to do this. Okay, see, sometimes it's working. But I've been testing this for hours and hours, and a lot of times the mechanic just doesn't seem to last. Okay, so now that we understand some of the aggro mechanics and what we would like to take advantage on console, let's talk about different farm designs. Alright, so you have two basic ideas. You either use a portal design that's built in the overworld that's taken advantage of the spawn mechanics of zombie pigmen and portals, or you make a farm in the nether that gathers up the pigmen that are already in the nether. So let's talk about the latter first. On Java Edition, building a zombie pigmen farm, a gold farm in the nether is the best way of going because you're going to get the best rates. However, the way they do that is by building on top of the nether roof. Now, we can break bedrock in console, but we can't get to the nether roof. It's kind of a void. You can't move around. So your other option would be to create a zombie pigmen farm in the nether, but not on top of the bedrock. And so you're presented with a couple issues there, and that's the other mobs that spawn. Even if you were to light everything up, because zombie pigmen don't care about light, you're still going to deal with the lava balls, and you're going to deal with gas. And then the other issue is you're going to have to clear that area out to make your farm. So what's a little bit simpler and typically more effective would be to do the first type that we mentioned, which would be an overworld portal farm. So let's talk about that for a minute as we watch these guys fall to their death. So the main thing you want to reduce to increase the effectiveness of mob farms is you want to reduce the time it takes them to die from when they spawn, or what Nimbom calls the STD, the spawn to death time. So if we were to take a look here, as soon as these guys spawn in the portal, not only do they have to walk to the edge, but then they have to fall into this water flushing system, and then they have to get carried down the water flushing system. So there's a lot of time here that one zombie pigman goes through from spawn to death. And unfortunately, it's not very easy for us to reduce that. Now, one common way to do this with other mobs would be to send them through a portal right after spawn as fast as you can. So by doing that, you send them to the nether, and when you do that, it clears their spawning number in the overworld, so another one can spawn in right away. But zombie pigmen are spawned in nether, so they have a 30-second cooldown before they can go, or spawn in a portal, so they have a 30-second cooldown before they can go back into another portal. So even if I were to flush these into another portal, they're not going to be able to go into it until they've stepped away from these portals and stayed away for 30 seconds. So that design doesn't exactly work with zombie pigmen. And then the other issue we have is with the snow golems. We need them to aggro, but the one they're aggroing gets knocked back like that. And there's just no real way around it, because we need their aggro mechanic. But the nice thing is by having 4 sides here, there's always some on cooldown that's going to allow them to smoothly walk down to their death. And we're using these trapdoors here because the zombie pigmen think they're in this position, so they can walk over them to get close to the snow golems, but they can't, they fall. And then they're carried down this water stream. Alright, so from the water stream, they're all carried down into this kill chamber. Alright, so here's a couple things I want to mention that set this farm apart from others. Beyond the race, or better. You have 2 killing methods here. You can either do item cramming, like this, to kill them, so you can completely AFK the farm. Or, you could stand in that chamber and you can kill them for XP. So you have 2 options of killing right there. Alright, and then if we go back down, you'll see a second difference here. When you're gaining this many items at once, the problem, you run into a couple problems, and that's how to handle part streams. A normal item filter system won't keep up when this thing's running full speed, because the parts are going to be coming over too fast. So you have 2 options there. You either increase the rate at which your item filters work, or you change how you dispense it. So one thing you could do is you could dispense in bulk quantities of like 12 or 16, and then every time it hits 16, it releases parts down the stream, and that way a hopper can grab all of those at once. That method's a little tough. What we can do, and what I've done, what I haven't seen anybody do yet on console, is we have a double speed item sorter. Okay, so it works twice as fast as normal item sorter. It takes a little bit more product. You got to have 5 full stacks on top of your 41. But it's worth it because it can keep up with this item stream. Alright, and this down here is just to get rid of like the swords, because it's just not worth messing with those. Alright, so the third thing I want to bring up that sets this one apart is, well, why would you want an AFK area? Alright, well, let's go inside the farm. And I should have built this thing 1 higher. We're in the clouds and it's super annoying. Well, having it be AFK-able gives us a chance to, even if we're killing them, we could step away for a little while. We could do our enchanting, we could do some crafting, or we can have our little AFK fish farm. So I can come in here, I got some carrots ready, I got my good sword, I can grab my fishing pole, and I can do some AFK fishing. So I can line this up, there we go. And I can do some AFK fishing while I'm gold farming. Alright, so you can do multiple things at once with this farm. Just remember that when you build this to have glass or an opening above the fish farm. Alright, so let's go back here. I also got carrots in there because while we're AFKing, we can go ahead and convert golden carrots. So let's talk about rates. If you were to just let these guys fall in and use item cramming, after testing for a few hours, here's the average you're going to get an hour. 1 hour AFK, you'll get about 558 nuggets. So this is about what you're going to be looking at. Now, if you were to XP farm it, and I'm using a looting 3 and fortune 3 sword to increase my drops, and it's also smite 5 to guarantee their one-hit kill. In 1 hour, you can expect about 2,119 nuggets and 64 gold bars, which would look like this. Or after. Here would be all your meat, which with a couple clerics, you could trade this rotten flesh in. And you're going to get, on the low side, 7,000 XP an hour. I was averaging 7,500 to 8,000, but the lowest I got was 7,000 XP. So let's talk about what that would mean. So you're going to get to level 30 in under 10 minutes. You'll get to your level 60 in an hour, and after 2 hours, you'll get to about level 78. I leveled a little bit more from there. So about 78 after 2 hours is what you can expect. So that's with AFK. Okay? So that kind of gives you an idea of what you can expect from this farm and some of the pros of it that make it work function a little bit better than the others. Now obviously it's a little complicated, but we'll break this down and we'll get into the construction of it so that we can, in bite-sized pieces so we can fully take advantage of how it works. So I want to give you kind of a quick look around because how you design the inside of yours is completely up to you. I'll show you how to build the farm. But you can have your AFK fishing area here. You got a bed, a little crafting area. You can come up here. You'll have a sorting area where you can grab your items. And then last thing you'll have is if you climb up here, there's access to the top. You can adjust some things if you need to. And then if I go all the way up, I'm in my kill chamber, and I would stand here, and I would look across this angle, and I would kill them like this. What's happening here? So I would stand here like this, and I would kill them. Am I using my good sword? No. And I would kill them just like this. Okay? So that's how you would do that. Alright, so with that being said, let's get into the construction of this thing. Okay, so I have all the items you're going to need here in this chest. For obsidian, you're going to need, here's a full shulker box. So that's 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's 27 stacks. You're going to need about 30 stacks of obsidian. For glass, I would bring 16 stacks of glass. If you want to use glass, I prefer glass up there so I could see. Minecarts, you're going to need 24 normal minecarts. You're going to need about 140 trapdoors, 8 fence gates, a couple stacks of ice, or water buckets. You can make an infinity source up there if you want to instead. An oak sign, 8 packed ice, about a dozen slabs, 5 comparators, 6 repeaters, a pile of dust, a building block of whatever type you want to use, bring a stack of those. You're going to need 3 jack-o'-lanterns, 2 droppers, 14 hoppers, 1 minecart with hopper, a dozen chests, a couple water buckets, 2 of them, a lava bucket, a rail, 10 snow, 5 carved pumpkins. I would bring a stack of torches or some kind of light source, and 4 iron bars. Okay, so with all that being said, let's get into the construction. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go up in the air so you're at least 128 blocks from the highest point of the ground below you. That's why flat areas or ocean biomes are great for this. Since we're using a spawning algorithm that's based off of portal blocks and not height, we can build this up in the air and it's not going to hurt our rates, unlike what I did for the witch farm or having a perimeter. Okay, so we're going way up in the air. We're going to start with 22 long and 22 wide squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2. And you're going to make a 22 by 22 square. And then go ahead and fill the whole thing in other than the center, a center 4 by 4 or the center 16 blocks. Now, once you have the floor done, come over to a corner, work it in diagonally. On all 4 sides. And then what you need to do now is you need to bring all of these up 20 more. So they're going to be, it's 22 height total, including the bottom. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Just like that. You need to do that to all of them. Okay? And after placing all that obsidian, we're left with this. So the last thing we have to do is to connect the uprights and fill in the top. So just like the bottom, the whole top of this is going to be filled. So I'll see you guys back here in a minute. With the roof complete, make sure you make it spawn proof either by lighting it up, putting bottom slabs, glass, or slime blocks. And go ahead and fill in the middle. That way it keeps the rain off of your snow golem down there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to use trapdoors. So we're going to place trapdoors all on the outside here of our portals. Just like that. So when the zombie pigmen spawn in, they think they're in that position. They walk across them, but we know better. The trick with doing the place does not line the blocks, so you can keep up the speed. And you can push the sideways and fast. And left side. Let's not forget the center. So 3 on each side. Beautiful. Okay, so coming back to the outside, we're going to go out 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. We're going to go up 1 and down 3. Just like that. We're going to build a 5-high wall like this. I know it's hard to see because of those clouds, but a 5-high wall there. Okay, so there's your measurement. And this is going to go all the way around. To capture the zombies that fall. So I'll keep working on this and I'll be back in a second. With the wall done, it's time to put in the floor. So from each side, the floor is going to come in 7 blocks, and then it's going to step down 1, and then it's going to go in 5. So I'm going to get on that, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, at this point, you're going to go to the innermost 4, open some gates, the innermost on all sides, open some gates, and then you can break those ones out, just like that. Okay, so now we need to make a little wall here, 3 high, so you can see where I've got it underneath. I'm going to go ahead and make this 3 high. There we go, just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and funnel them into one corner. So to do that, Place your ice down and just leave one corner open like that. Alright, and in this corner, go ahead and place a sign. Right, now it's time to put our water in. So for this to work, we need a block in each corner with a bucket of water on it. Alright, so now you're going to add source blocks, or you could use ice all on the sides. Just don't do these 3 in the corner. Alright, so from here we're going to come down 1, 2, 3 on the side of these. We'll go ahead and slab up that bottom one and the top one, slab this side and slab this side, just like that. Okay, we're probably going to have to get rid of one of those for now, so we can place all these in here. Get a track right there, and normal mine carts, we need 24. Here we go, there's 24 of those. Now we can go ahead and put this slab back in place, just to kind of help hold it there. Alright, and from that, go one more block down, place a hopper. We can get rid of that block there. Crouch down, get a rail on it, and a normal minecart with hopper. I'm going to go ahead and kind of close it in just a little bit here. Just like that, so we don't bump it as we get to working on other things. Okay, so we're going to need to come down here. Let's get us something to stand on. And we're going to want a dropper. I said a dropper right here. Okay, so we need to get some redstone on this dropper here. So we need to get a normal block in the back. Normal block on the side. Now it'll be 3, 4. It'll look like this. And let's see here. We're going to need a couple things. We're going to need repeaters, comparator, dust. Let's take a reading out of the back of that thing into a comparator, into that block. Bring that pulse all the way around to here. So now, whenever, let's go ahead. We get something in there, it's going to be spit right out. Now, what I like to do here is either cover this with glass or put slabs on these so they're spawn proofed. Okay, so for our water here, we're going to need a block like that. One here, and let's get our ice. Let's make a little track right here. So we're going to go 2 past him, and we're going to turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it should be 1, 2, 3, 4 this way, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on that side. Alright, and on over here, we're gonna need some chests to align our parts. Just like that. It's gonna be 3 hoppers. And on the back here, could just be glass. Okay, so we need hoppers, and we're going to need our fence, or iron bars, whatever you use. Alright, so this filter system is going to be a little bit different, since it's going to be a double speed sorter, so these hoppers are going to face straight down, with iron bars on top Another bar on the end. We're going to get rid of one of these ice. It's a little bit longer than I want it to be. And we're going to come down here. Need something to stand on. Oh, not like that. Alright, so we'll have a normal block there. We'll put a dropper. Come back here, get rid of this block, and then put a funnel into that dropper. Okay, so now we're going to need to wire up that dropper. So we're going to need a block underneath and one to the side. And let's get this thing wired up. So let's take a comparator reading out of it. Repeater into a block. This is our normal clock situation we've been doing. But we're going to bring this down once, twice. Dust. If we put a slab here, it shouldn't break that. Perfect. And if we put glass here, it shouldn't break that. And if we put glass here like that, beautiful. And we can contain the lava that's going to be in there. Let's go over, what, 3, over 1. This will go up. And then this should feed right into that block. Perfect. So repeater into the block underneath, and then just connect this with dust. Just like that. And if it's smart to go ahead and put half slabs, we'll put a fence rail in there. That's fine. But just make sure your normal building blocks, you have half slabs or glass on top of them here if you don't light this area up. Alright, so if we've done this correctly, then we should be able to do that. Perfect. Give that back, please. So then we could take a bucket of lava. Drop that in there like that. That'll light it up. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is get our item filters in. And these are going to be built a little bit different than what you're used to, because they're going to be double speed. So underneath the ice, look up and get 3 hoppers facing down. And then come to this side and connect these just like that. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put our first set of chests there. Alright, and then we can get rid of those for now. And we're going to need another set of hoppers here, pointing into those chests from underneath there. And then we could get our final chest down. So it'll be staggered 1. Just like that. And kind of reach underneath there and place the last set of hoppers right there. Okay? Okay, so now the next thing we need to do to get the wiring in, we're going to put a block right here, right next to the second from the top. And we're going to pull that pulse out with comparators, okay? So it kind of starts off just like normal. And underneath here, go down 2, back 1, place some blocks, and then I'm just going to put jack-o'-lanterns here just for a light source because there's going to be torches. Actually, these can come out like that. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way so you can see what's going on here. Alright, and then we'll throw our torches in. Doom, doom, doom. Repeaters into the jack-o'-lanterns. 1, 2, 3 blocks here. 3 blocks here. 3 blocks there. Throw our dust on top of all of these. Just like that. Alright, so now we got to get the filter set up in here. Alright, so to do that, let's go ahead. You can use a lot of different things for this. Excuse me, I like to use, I usually use paper because I have a whole bunch. You could use, some people like stone buttons. Fish, something. We'll get an anvil. Not that. Put our paper in here. Let's go ahead and name this filter. Okie dokie. Now, let's start with nuggets, alright? So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to start by filling the bottom, or the second one down, okay? That gets full, so 5 stacks. And then we're going to go up here. We're going to take our filter paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, fill up the last 4 slots, and then put a stack in. Now see how fast that is? Let's take it 2 at a time. And it's doing that because it's able to, by that going straight down, these parts are then divided that way and then sucked out of that. So twice as fast. The sideways hopper goes slower. And the rest will show up there. Okay, so we need to repeat the process. This can be kind of a pain to get into. So what you could do is like just come through here, delete that, just like that. And then okay, so now let's do rotten flesh, rotten flesh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's throw these in here like that. Get our hopper. Set that back down. That shouldn't be grabbing any. Come back up here, filter papers again. And then we should see this drop. Hover around 40. There we go. Alright, so last thing is ingots. And we'll filter these because when we're using our sword, we'll be getting ingots. Where do they keep our ingots? I can remember where all this stuff is. There it is. Alright, so this one first. Then back up here. And there's our ingots. So the bottom chests are going to fill first. And then the top chest. Just like that. So at this point the farm is functional. But and how you connect everything is kind of up to you. But let me let's grab a little block here. Oh, let's go with yellow terracotta for the gold. So I'll kind of show you how I connect these. So if we were to start, we want to be. We have a walkway here. Okay, so we need to be down further. Let me lower this down. And then we'll take a slab, throw it there. And this is where we're going to stand to attack, right here. So we can close this in. Kind of make it a path. Same here. So this will be our little hallway where we can come up here. Oh, we got to change the top here. That's got a slab. So here's our little hallway. Come up here, we can attack. Make sure when you're doing this with your sword, you're standing back against this wall. Because if you get pretty close every now and then, they will hit you. And when you're on a long AFK session, that's going to be taking down your food, which will eventually, you'll starve to death. So stand back here a little ways. And then what I did is I kind of just brought this around. Like that. And I went down from here. And connect the two rooms. Okay, so let's see. Here's that room. And then we want ladders, right? Let's see. So let's take some ladders. Go up to there, right? Close this off. You just kind of close it. Can I do that? No. And we want some light in here, right? So let's close this up. How you do this, like I said, is up to you. But this is just kind of an example of where you might have your path coming in. And then we can take some kind of light source. And just throw a light right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's alright. Nice access there. come down. And now let's collect all this. And then what I did is I brought this around here. And I built my fish farm right here. Right on the edge here. And I'll link in the description how to do my AFK fish farm. But you can put it right there. Just like I said, remember, put glass on the top. This is going to be a little walkway here. And then just close all this in however you see fit. And you close it in. Throw the light in here. Right there. And just close it. There you have it. And then just figure out where you want to put your portal. You could always add it to the top here, you know. As you climb up, you can add another room there and build your portal off of that. It's really up to you guys. You know, throw a couple of anvils here for repairing your stuff, and then storage chest for your goodies, and then let's throw down like a workbench, furnace, you know, stuff like this. And you kind of got your everything you need here. You can do your fishing if you want. You can come over here. You can get your supplies. And then if you're going to be killing them, just climb up your ladder here into your room and stand right here. And you grab your sword and go to town. Just remember, try to get the a good sword for this. And Smite 5 will kill them faster, reduce that STD time. Okay? Alright, for now we'll sneak out the back. And I think this thing's ready to rock. So let's turn it on by lighting up all these portals. So it's usually easiest if you start from the inside. Kind of do that. And you could use these walkways now. Jump over here, like the last one, and you could do the same thing over here. Now, one thing that would be smart to do is wherever the portal ends on the other side, dig out underneath it so it's an immediate fall to their death, or add magma blocks, or anything like that. Because in this game, when anything goes back through a portal, if it does, it's just going to sit there in stasis, and then when you go to the nether within rendered range, all those things are going to re-render. They're just going to load up and just kind of appear before your eyes. So if you have them where they're insta-death, you know, die from falling or something like that, then that way it clears up all the entities that might spawn there randomly. Okay, so we'll kind of fire this thing up. Oh, we can kind of see him there. Oh, he's about to engage him. And they're starting to spawn in here. Make sure it's that hard. And you're ready to go. So we'll get, we'll come down here. We can ditch some of this stuff we don't want. Clear a little room. Let's find some books. Oh, I hear them all dying. I gotta remember where these are. Get Smite. Fortune, and then we can even do efficiency. Where's our unbreaking? You kind of get whatever you want here. Alright, we're ready for combat. See, they're all dying anyway. Stand back against the wall. Let's put this into survival. And just hold R2. Just like that. You see me gaining the XP. Sometimes if you're standing too close, you won't gain it. Don't hit the carts. Just keep yourself back in this corner. And aim right along that corner. Right about there. You should even be able to hit the babies. And that's all there is. Just like that. And you can hear the thing spitting it out. So anyway, guys, I think that does it. I think you get the point here. Oh, we're in Bible. I think you guys get the point here. It's a fantastic farm. It'll get you a bunch of XP, certainly more than you're going to get for a grinder. It gets a ton of gold, and you have a couple options with it as far as AFK or if you want to XP farm it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's pretty complicated, but it's the best one I've seen that we have on console. So good luck if you're building them. I hope you guys are looking forward to the next video coming up soon. Remember to leave a like for the video, subscribe for future PlayStation 4 technical Minecraft stuff. Hit the bell so you're notified when I drop another video. As always, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for sticking by. See you next time. Bye for now.